Eagle double G. Da 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 da. Eagle double G. Top dog, bite them all, yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, you should be turning it up. CPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang us in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cuz homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low life, yo life, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back door. Chickens looking at me strange, but you know I don't care. Step up in this mother, just a swank in my head. Trick, quit talking, crip walk if you down with the set. Take a bullet with some grip and take the smoke on this jet. Out of town, put it down for the father of rap. And if you happen to get cracked, trick, shut your trap. Come back, get back, that's the part of success. If you believe in the S, you be relieving your stress. Da 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 da, it's the one and only Eagle double G. Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg. Da 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 da, you know I'm mobbing with the D.O.E. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Da 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 da, it's the one and only Eagle double G. Eagle double G, Eagle double G.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Swirl.
Yes. Hold up. Hey, for my niggas who be thinking we soft, we don't play. We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up. Wait, for my niggas who be acting too bold, take a seat. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, hey, you know I'm mobbing with the D.O.E. Coming real, it's the next episode. Swirl. Oh yeah.
Yo, what is good? WEB4 Roundtable fam. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Gonna get the show started here, getting the studio set up. About to share my screen. So, fun fact, we have not set up any alpha, any technical analysis since last Wednesday. So a pretty decent chunk of today's show will be focused on that, as we usually cover most days. I want to give you guys my updated take, where I see the market going, what's going on with the market. Looks like my cord isn't plugged in, so give me 1 second on that. I'm going to share my screen. Of course, it shares it sideways. All right, you know what? We're not doing that. I don't know why it's trying to be weird, so we'll just share the screen normally as it is. I'll figure that part out later. Let's get TradingView going up. friendly reminder, y'all, best way to support our show here today, like and retweet. You guys have been jumping on the H Barks train. Feel free to leave it in the comments if you want to support our show. That's another way to do so. Shout out to the Barking Game. Super bullish on what Ash is doing over there. Friendly reminder, we did interview him and the Barking Game platform on Friday, episode 243. So if you guys missed it, just head to my profile after the show. Feel free to head to my highlights. Episode 243 is in the bag. I thought it was a great interview. Ash loved it as well, and a lot of the community seemed to have enjoyed it because a bunch of you guys tuned in. So super bullish on that, and the HBAR community here showing up every single day. So again, and if you're on the live stream as well, I know it's a little bit hard. It doesn't let you like and retweet right away. Feel free to exit out now. Give you guys about 5-10 seconds. It's free, right? Liking and retweeting goes a long way. I know it's it's kind of a drag to kind of remind or what have you, but it doesn't take that long. And if you genuinely find value out of our show, I mean, the bigger our show is, the more people we can help, support, interview, that kind of stuff. I do believe it pushes HBAR along and retail. So if you believe that too, then what's stopping you? I know we don't get a ton of likes or ton of retweets. Not that it matters, I guess, but I do see who does it, at least on my notifications. And again, I really, really appreciate it when you guys do that. And I'm about to like and retweet the show myself. So let's see what's going on here with the technical analysis here. Let's get the show started. Also, we are live streaming on YouTube as well. So if you want to jump up on YouTube, feel free to head to my bio right now and hit the link in my bio as well. All right, I'm liking and retweeting the show now. Feel free to support our show as well. And then let me share where is the live stream link? Here it is. Let me share the live stream link in our alpha chat as well. Then also, if you want to come up as a speaker, if you're in our alpha chat, I'm going to share, I might as well share the link there as well. So if any of you guys want to come up after we go through some technical analysis, feel free to come up of the studio as well. All right, give me 1 second. Looks like X. Okay, let me force stop X really quick. Earlier today, so we'll cover some of that as well. Also, if you guys are here in the live stream side of things, feel free to leave a comment on the live stream. It does allow me to click on it and have it pop up as well if you're interested in that. So me share. Also, if you guys are in the space, let me share the live stream to the Jumbotron as well, just in case you want to jump up in the live stream. Shout out to everyone in the space. I can't, unfortunately, shout out individuals in the live stream, but I can do it in the space because I can see you. So I see Josh in here, Saucy Girl, Hobley, G, Mindband, George V, Jake from State Farm, TJ, and all the amazing anonymous listeners. And then, of course, all 100-something of you guys listening in live here on the live stream. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Let's get into some technical analysis. There's any tokens, timeframes, charts, what have you, let me know if you're interested in seeing any of those specific ones. So as you guys know, I don't really highlight too much too often the daily and or the weekly charts. I just don't. They're not as powerful as the monthly and higher timeframes. So I don't really cover them. So here's something, and this isn't really shade or FUD or whatever, negativity towards anyone in this space. I made a post recently saying, hey, like anyone saying, hey, we're so back and certain time frames are showing certain things, what have you, right? So daily, weekly, I'm not going to really highlight them moving forward again, but they do have value. So let me show you, because I have seen some people, again, I'm not dropping names or whatever, but I have seen some people, here's the HBAR chart, talk about the weekly, which the weekly is strong. Don't get me wrong. Not saying it's not strong, not saying it's not valuable. You guys take any of the parameters I've been talking about with the blue over the orange or the orange over the blue. Basically, when the blue crosses up, let me make the regular RSI bigger so you guys can actually see. Sorry, the stochastic RSI. Let me make that bigger so you can actually see what's going on here. So as you can see on the weekly, the blue is actually crossing up. Now, funny enough as well, when this happened, I saw a few people, not going to name names, say, oh, okay, the RSI is crossing up. We're super bullish. We're going to go up. We're much higher from here, whatever, right? Okay, well, guess what? Look what happened here back in July. And I remember seeing some of these posts, right? Maybe I got a screenshot and show them, but again, it's not really the point I'm trying to make here, like highlight people or whatever. Look at how low the stochastic is, right? Remember how I've been saying, and I'll show you guys on the monthly as well. See how it's down here in the lower, down here in the near zero, essentially, right? Okay, well, we had a cross up of the blue, and guess what happened? It rejected at this 20 level. And so we can have the cross up all we want, but if we're not crossing up with enough momentum in this range above the 20 historically or in the 40s, it's a failed rally. And guess what we did? We crossed down below the orange and it failed, and we had more downside. Okay, well, guess where we are right now? Yeah, we're crossing up. Sure, and anyone can make a post saying, hey, we're crossing up. We have momentum. That's what this means, is that we do have momentum. But guess what? The moment that we reject, if we reject here, we're going to go back down again. And so I'm not making posts endlessly saying, hey, we're going up. We're having the cross up, right? And this is only the weekly. Again, I don't focus on the weekly very much because it's not the biggest indicator for me, because we can go look, right? Okay, blue's under the orange. Okay, boom, it crosses up. We do have some momentum, and then you can see it crosses down. So you can definitely use the weekly to do some short-term trades. But when I'm talking about the big, the most volatile, the most impactful trades of your entire crypto space, essentially, you're going to want to be on the higher time frames. Again, you had the blue cross down under the orange, and what do we have? A massive correction from 14 cents all the way down to, what is that, 6.5? That's a massive, like 50% drop. And then we barely had the blue cross up when we had the pump with the RCAX news, and then we had to cross down pretty fast, and we went well below this consolidation level, right under the 20. So you can definitely use the blue and the orange on the stochastic RSI for the weekly chart. I don't recommend it. You can kind of just look at it for the short-term momentum, literally short-term as in weeks, week over week. The daily, I literally just don't even look at it because it's not going to be the overall trend, essentially. So let's look at the monthly. As I said before, you can see how closely or how similarly it is trailing with Bitcoin in particular. So I'm going to show the Bitcoin chart here shortly because I'm not too keen on showing the H-bar chart too much because, let's be honest as well, all your altcoins, we haven't entered alt season for one, and two, your altcoins typically trail Bitcoin. So there's not really a point in me showing any token really outside of HBAR, like in the HBAR ecosystem, because a lot of those tokens are ultimately going to trade HBAR. So basically, the better HBAR does, the better your tokens are going to do. And we all kind of want to know the answer to the question of, hey, like when token pump, when are we going to get all season, when are our DeFi tokens going to go crazy, when is NFTs? And here's your answer: until we have a solid cross, which we haven't had one. We actually had a cross down in March, April. So every 6 months on average is when we have a cross here on the stochastic RSI. We have not had a cross, and we're currently losing a ton of momentum, which is fine, until we see Bitcoin, of course, have its shift, of course. But we could see H-bar go down to basically zero in terms of momentum, which is totally fine because we saw down the weekly. On the monthly, of course, that's a stronger impact on the market, and specifically for the token. But it doesn't mean all hope is lost. Doesn't mean the token's going to zero or anything like that. Momentum continuing to drop slightly here. We're at the 42 range. I think it looks fine. None of these candles are like particularly bullish. We still have, let me open up the, I'm talking a lot on the short-term stuff, right? Month over month, over the long enough period, as long as alt season, as long as Bitcoin does its thing in a healthy way, and as long as alt season actually exists in the future, that this is all fine. So this is more or less a hammer candle, which is usually a trend reversal. So let's throw up Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see where the fear and greed index is as well, as we usually do. Again, we haven't actually covered any of this since last Wednesday. So it's been a hot minute since we actually touched on all of this, which is totally fine. We had a lot of alpha to cover last week, rightfully so. There's always ton of builders, a lot of people super excited for our ecosystem. So let's see what's going on, what's cooking here. All right, let's see where the fear and greed index. Here it is. We're still chopping, 50s, mid 50 range, still in the yellow. Usually yellow either signals a lot of downside up ahead or a lot of upside. That's just kind of how the market moves. So the more neutrality, the more chop, the more people are gonna get. More people are gonna get bored. They're gonna leave the market. I'm not again. Whenever I make examples, I'm not gonna really be naming names at this point. It's not really a point in doing that. I saw someone. I had never met them. I never really saw them. I guess they commented on one of my posts recently, but I guess they've been here for years, and they were saying that they're leaving now. They're selling everything, and it's like I commented back, just basically saying, look, like unless you absolutely have to, and it's not financial advice in any capacity, but unless you absolutely have to leave the market for financial reasons, right? You're really struggling, what have you, which is definitely happens. It happens often, right? This is probably, and obviously we'll see very soon within the next 3 to 6 months if my take is way off or it's pretty close. This might be the worst actual time to leave the market, just based on everything that I'm watching and seeing. Unless we have a lot more downside ahead, maybe we have to wait another year, 2 years, or whatever. But I don't really see that here for this cycle. So I do believe pretty much the more you start to see that, those could be potential bottom signals. I don't want to really make examples of people or anything like that. But I am seeing, and this is cross chain, right? This isn't necessarily a Hedera thing. Solana, Ethereum. I've seen so many people when I spend time in cross chain spaces. So many people say they're going to leave, they're going to give up on the market. The market's a scam. It's BS, right? That's the kind of lingo. Those are the kind of terms and things that you hear normally when we are going to get the next move, the next leg up. And you can see this about a year ago. We're coming up on a year. Let's see. We're in August 27. So we are right here. We're right here a year ago. So if you are just kind of watching the market, okay, a month later we're here, 2 months later we're here, 3 months later we're here. Like, could we be here in 3 months? It's possible. Could we be over here next summer? It's possible. That's what I said is probably going to happen. So we got to watch, be super abundantly patient. If you absolutely have to leave the market, like you got to do what you got to do, but also being abundantly aware, abundantly curious and patient where the market is potentially heading, especially if we haven't had an official alt season yet. I mean, it's gonna, unless you're absolutely never gonna look at crypto again, you're gonna be very sick. Looking back at the charts and being like, wow, I really sold before we had like a 5-10x or something crazy happening in the market. Like, that's really tough. And I don't really want anyone to deal with that, especially if you've been here a long time. Because let's be honest as well, a lot of us have been here for years. I've held, been super bullish, understand where the market's heading, and it is tough sometimes. And but also not looking at this market with the lens of, hey, like, where can I chase the next 10x tomorrow, and then do the next one after that? Like, that's not what this market really was intended. A lot of it is to build the future of whatever finance is going to look like, data, uh, social ownership, identity, that kind of stuff. Like, that's where a lot of this market is going to head at the end of the day. And a lot of the gambling, degeneracy aspect of the market has really skewed a lot of people's views. And I'm not talking about or to anyone in particular, just generalizing here. A lot of the market isn't supposed to be or isn't geared towards that. Even if we think, right, we're kind of led to think, oh, like, well, Solana is a leader in this, and this, and meme coins and the tokens over there is what crypto is. Like, ultimately, it's not. Like, that's a part of the current culture, especially since there's like no regulations really for this market. But the moment that changes, and arguably this is the regulation cycle, okay, well, what's going to happen to Solana, or what's going to happen to tokens or whatever, right? Across all ecosystems, not just Solana. So it's very important to just kind of be aware of what's coming and try to understand where the market's heading. And if you can just kind of be patient and stay strong about that and make good trades, obviously, because this market is about trading at the end of the day as well, taking your profits, you're probably going to do very well for yourself during this market. So RSI is looking super strong, super healthy still. We're basically at this old level in January. So basically, before we had the massive leg up in February, March, Bitcoin's holding strong, stronger than ever, arguably, from what I'm seeing. nothing I'm concerned about in the slightest. So we're literally at the 62, 63 level on the RSI, holding strong, holding on the average, nothing to be concerned about on the monthly. And we're so incredibly close. We got pretty close earlier in July. I thought we'd probably have one coming up in August. We're pretty much at that level again. So unless we lose a ton of momentum and really drop again, we'll probably drag this out a little bit further into September, and which we probably will. We'll probably drag this out further into September, but we're so incredibly close. Maybe 30 days or less at this point. End of September, probably the latest, and we'll continue to cover it here until we get that cross. Once we have the cross, we'll probably have our next leg up. This is a typical characteristic of a hammer candle. This is a indecision candle, a spinning top, which usually leads to some momentum shift, which we're seeing now in August, which I did cover in July. I did cover it in June as well. These are all pretty much tops in some capacity, spinning tops in some capacity. This one's an iconic one. This is a typical hammer. So we got to see. And basically, if you don't know what a hammer is, we had all this momentum loss to the downside, and we had all this momentum eaten up and bought. Basically, the dip was bought up, right? And then look at this. This is the level that we closed in at the end of January going into February. This is the level we're currently at in the RSI. And look how high we are in price compared to the RSI back here. This is such a major indicator, and we had a big rally up here. We had a rally from when the candle opened from basically 40,000, 39,582, all the way to 74. So that's like 100% move for Bitcoin. It doubled in like a 30 to 60-day window. Here's something else, just from my experience and everything I've learned. I always take this with you as well moving forward. A lot of people don't understand this, but in the market cycle, it's easy to get shaken out and it's easy to just not make profits because most people arguably don't understand what I'm about to tell you. The biggest profits and gains throughout an entire cycle are only about a 30-day to 60-day window, and that's it. Like, if you're right here and you max bid on Bitcoin, you max bid on a token, anything really in Web3, like you're just gone for years, and you're like, oh, I can read the charts, I can see what's going on the RSI. I'm gonna max bid right here at 39, and then you watch the cross down happen. You can see that it's overheated. I said it was overheated in March and April. You took your profits, you made it easy, 100%, doubled your money, whatever. And you could talk about other tokens as well. You sold, you just leave the market for another few months until you actually see this trend reversal, which I said I sold. I was super honest. A lot of people were kind of annoyed that I was pretty public about it. It's not about, I didn't tell anyone to sell anything. I'm just saying what I did. Because I want to kind of show you guys an example for myself as a trader, for myself as momentum, showing where the momentum is in the market as well. I sold all my HTS tokens about here and in this level, right? I kind of trailed some. I didn't want to really believe it, but I knew what the chart was saying, and I waited, right? I've waited. I do plan. I love HTS. It's my favorite aspect next to NFTs in the market. I love it more than HBAR. I'm super bullish on all the builders. I'm going to be buying some pretty big bags for me subjectively very, very soon once we have the trend reversal. But if you just waited and pretty much did nothing this whole time, even if you were holding and you were patient, okay, well, you're pretty much at the level as you were in February. And guess what happened next? So again, just be super patient, be super level-headed, where I don't really see the market doing anything too crazy. If it happens, it happens. And of course, we'll talk about it. We'll cover it where I see the market going next. But until we get this actual trend reversal, which again doesn't really happen very often, happens once, 1, 2, 3 times maybe a year, that they signal the biggest shifts in the market. And that is probably one of the most important things to note. And of course, this next time we hit this upwards level of momentum, I do believe it will be the market cycle top for this cycle, whatever it ends up being, which will lead once Bitcoin does lose its momentum once again and we head down here. I do believe that will trigger the next alt season for all your favorite tokens and so on. So got to be super level-headed, understand where the market's headed. We haven't had the cross up, and we haven't had a cross down. If we have a cross down, that will lead towards something ending up happening the next 6 months, which will most likely put us somewhere next summer. So be patient. That's all I can really say. That's if I learned anything in this entire cycle, last cycle as well. Just be patient. Don't get shaken out by your emotions. If you're trading on emotions, FOMO, you're upset that you missed out on something. Guess what? There's always another token, another NFT launch, another opportunity, right? You got to look at the next opportunity. You go to sleep, you might have missed that 10x or that 5x or 1x, even, right? 1x is very important to be aware of that. Taking profits on a couple X is important. And some of the biggest plays that I missed out on, or I didn't take profits enough on, were those 2-3 X's. And guess what? It retraced 50%, 80%, 90%. I lost all the profits. I just round tripped it and I held it down. And H bar is kind of like that, but a lot of other tokens are like that, not just H bar. So definitely not singling H bar out in any capacity. Most altcoins are down from their highs quite a bit. Some have come back up quite a bit, which is fine. It is what it is. But we do need to see a trend reversal here on the stochastic R side before we get more momentum to the upside. And then also, just because we have the cross up doesn't mean we're in the clear either. We do have to cross. So here's one more thing before we get into some H bar daily news, which we haven't really covered too much recently, which I do want to get back to here on today's show. We're still consolidating in this channel. We haven't closed a single body down here under 53K. We're still holding strong. Yes, earlier this month, we did go below it briefly. We wicked down, but we did not close this body below it, which would have signaled something very, very bad, and we would have definitely gone lower within a month or less. Now, if we do have this cross up, the next immediate thing I'm going to be looking for within a 30-day window is, are we going to break through the 73,000 level? We do not. I'm not going to be that bullish, and we're going to talk about it here. So we're literally 30 to 60 days or less. It's coming up so close for this trend reversal. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you guys what I think, and then, of course, we'll continue to cover the charts. And my favorite part of the whole cycle, guess what? Talking about tokens, the next launches, NFTs, that kind of stuff. And that's my wheelhouse, right? When I was here, I'm super deep into tokens, super deep into NFTs, and I cannot wait for the excitement to get back, to come back into the market, and people start flipping bullish again. So I never left. I've been here this whole time. I'm seeing it every single day where this market's heading. And if you'll join me, you'll join us here in Hedera. Well, I think there's a lot of really good coming. I think there's a lot of assets here that are extremely, extremely undervalued. And I'm excited to talk about every single one of them here with you all. And hopefully we win. We win really big this cycle. I do these shows pretty much every day, so I can see as many of you guys take profits, continue to win, find the opportunities that you can find, and absolutely kill it during this cycle as well. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in here today. If you learned anything today, you found any value at our show, make sure to go leave a retweet. I really appreciate it. It's free. And speaking of HBark as well, we interviewed them this past Friday. Super bullish on what they're doing. It's super easy to get involved. Just go check out their website, hbark.club. This isn't a sponsorship or anything like that. I do want to just kind of give a brief highlight most of our shows here on what's going on with them as well. I think this is a really neat, really cool, really fun use case for Hedera as well. So I'm going to give a shout out to everyone up on the leaderboard as well. There's a lot of amazing people up here representing our ecosystem, creating content, and the community, of course, supporting them as well. So give them a massive shout out, giving them a massive shout out here on the Bark leaderboard. Feel free to go bark at your favorite community members. And if you want to throw some barks down in the comments here as well, if you're enjoying the show here today, feel free to tag me here at IPEX Trades for our show here today. All you got to do is pick up some tokens, ask some people in the replies, bark at them. It's super simple, super fun. And guess what? The people in the leaderboard, and even yourself, even if you don't find yourself up in the leaderboard, any of the points that you accumulate that you are gifted or you're gifting to other people will result in tokens that you will be able to claim at the end of the season, which is about a month away. So friendly reminder on that as well. All right. And then this tab is still open from the interview on Friday. So I do want to show you guys something on Saucer Swap. I think Saucer Swap will probably be the main DEX. I'll continue to just kind of showcase here until I choose to just kind of show some other stuff here, some other DEX's platforms here, but I want to show you guys something in terms of TVL. So over the last year, and then we'll start doing like some DeFi Llama stuff. So remember when we did, what is the platform name? Diffuse Labs, I think it is. They made a post, I don't remember the date, last week, over the weekend at some point, and basically talking about how HBAR is undervalued, right? Talking about how our revenue is higher than a bunch of the top chains combined, that kind of stuff. So if that's true, I said I got to do my own research. I'm going to go look into for you guys and just kind of show you guys live here soon. I won't do it today, but it is something I do want to do to just kind of verify it, because if that's true, that's a big deal. And we can see here, I went through last night on DeFi Llama again. I'm not showing you today, but very soon, maybe tomorrow, I'll show you guys on DeFi Llama as well. Man, like we would be like up in the top 20 for DEX, total value locked, and overall volume regularly. And where, let me jump to the, 1 second here. Let me jump to where HBAR actually ranks. We are currently sitting at 42. Today's August 27th, 0.05299. So basically 5 and 5.3 cents. What are we at? 71.75% out on the market, full dilution, 1.90 billion market cap. Again, a lot of these tokens are pretty similar in market cap as well, so it's not that big of a shift for HBAR to jump. But something very fascinating to me is if our revenue and volume is on par or higher than some of these combined tokens, protocols up in the top 20, like that, to me, that's just a clear sign that something's very wrong. And what's probably wrong is the marketing. What's probably wrong is maybe certain aspects, and I'll touch on some posts here. But if we are performing on similar levels, then we are undervalued. Even before an alt season, we should arguably be up here somewhere. And we were recently. So there's some things that got to shift, and we're going to talk about some of that today. Because guess what? I don't even know what caused me to do it last night. I guess I haven't, just full transparency, I haven't been following Shane, the CEO of the HBAR Foundation. I guess I unfollowed him or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. I went to look at his profile last night, and it said that the account's restricted. And since I wasn't following him, I couldn't see anything. And I know some people were still following him, and I guess he was falling back or something. I don't know, but they could see his posts, but a lot of people couldn't. So we're going to talk about that here shortly. Let me pull up my account here, see what's going on. If you guys have a take on it, feel free to leave a comment in the live stream. So if you are on the live stream, just click here, and then there'll be a little comment section where you can just kind of type up here really quick. Don't forget to like and retweet. Same with the space as well. If you guys are in the space, it really goes a long way. I appreciate you guys. So I said earlier, we're going to cover this post, $3 HBAR FUD, marketing. Actually, when I make these posts, I haven't seen, I haven't like followed up with any of them. So if you commented or what have you, I haven't seen them. So maybe I'll do it here on the show. All right. So this is the post I want to show you guys. Give me a second here. Also, if you want to come up to speak, we're going to start wrapping up the show within the next 15, 20 minutes. So if you'd like to come up, feel free to hit that button on the bottom left. And if you are in our alpha chat, I do have the link to come up as a speaker in the live stream as well. The button on the bottom left here on the space, link in the alpha chat, and then shoot me a DM if you do want to come up as a speaker on the live stream if you're not in our alpha chat already. And then just a little shill here. If you're not in our alpha chat for some reason already, and you would like to join, you want to stay up to date with the latest alpha in the ecosystem, shoot me a DM during or after the space, and I can get you hooked up. I can let you know how to join. And then, of course, the instructions, the link is in my bio. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward and self-explanatory there as well. All right, and appreciate it. I mean, we're up to like almost 80 members now from their community. So shout out to all of you guys. Yeah, I mean, you guys have been killing it on the alpha, and it's basically these shows. Like, if you find any value out of these shows, it's basically these shows just in a group chat. Want to make sure you guys are up to date with what's going on, the latest news, all that good stuff. And of course, when the bull run's actually in full effect, all seasons in full effect, I can only imagine how active. Our alpha chat will continue to be even more so. I remember it was just nonstop tokens, nonstop NFT opportunities back in February and March. So if you're looking forward to that, again, shoot me a DM. I might actually, here's some crazy alpha. I might actually change the requirements very soon. So you want to be part of it sooner than later. Make sure to join up before I change maybe the requirements. And everyone that's in it, I mean, don't worry about it. And don't worry, like you don't need to pick up anything else. I'll make sure you guys are good to go with that. But for anyone that hasn't joined yet, make sure to shoot me a DM. All right. Anyone else blocked by Shane here in Hedera? I'm not blocked personally. I'm not. We will be covering on the show. So we don't really talk a lot about the HBAR Foundation stuff. I just kind of said, hey, whenever I do address it, I just said, hey, look, like clearly there's something wrong here. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. Should things be changed? Arguably so. Do we need an audit first and foremost before we can really say, hey, like certain things need to happen, what have you? Yeah, like that's what Charles said. Charles made his post. So here's something else I'll publicly admit to. Charles, I went back and read through his article that he wrote back in like mid-July. I thought it was longer, but it hasn't been that long. It's been like 5 weeks. So July, he writes his article. He talks about more transparency, the audits, that kind of stuff, right? Okay. So I misquoted it, and again, I'll publicly say that here. It says within the next 3 weeks, I'm going to start basically announcing just kind of how we're going to roll out our spaces. Now that still hasn't happened, granted, but I was saying publicly, hey, in 3 weeks, I'm going to start doing spaces. So that's not what it said, but ideally spaces happen sooner than later. So I'll correct that. The article did say basically coming soon, my roadmap or how I'm going to do spaces and LinkedIn, because he wants to like have connections there, maybe do some live streams there or something. That'll be revealed soon. So it wasn't a firm 3 weeks and start, which I thought that's where I had read. So I misread that, and I'm just publicly saying, hey, it wasn't that. It was actually this. So Permable mentioned that he was following for months until recently. Now he's blocked. Seems like something's happening. So let's actually, before I show you guys his account, let me just show you if you guys haven't jumped in or looked at it just yet. Give me 1 second, because I know some people are tagging him and it won't. I don't know if he's removing the tag or what's going on with the account. So I just pulled it up here. I don't usually cover his account or a lot of the HBAR Foundation stuff. To be honest, I'm at the point where I know a lot of people maybe want me to be more polarizing, or some people are like, oh, pick a side or whatever. Like, I don't even think it's about that. Like, some people say, oh, well, professionalism is calling on the bullshit or whatever. Like, I don't even think it's about that either. Like, if Charles is saying that audits are going to be happening and conversations are happening in the background, okay, well, what's happening here? We don't really know, and usually when something like this happens, maybe we are going to get an announcement soon. Maybe we are going to get something. And funny enough, what was it? I was talking, and I don't really talk about the governing council minutes too much, but I talked about it like 2 or 3 times on the show. I covered the February ones, and guess what happened? Literally within like 24, 40 hours, and I'm not saying I'm the one that caused it. Definitely not by any capacity. I have no doubt that I wasn't the one that did that. But when I keep saying like be super patient, I do believe there's movement happening, right? We're pretty active, we're pretty vocal. What's going on here? And within 24 to 48 hours from that one space, that one show that we did, it was already out. We had the 3 governing council minutes. And again, I'm not taking credit. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just kind of making the point that I think it was just coincidental that within a pretty quick period of time, we got what we were asking for. So again, just be patient. I know some people really, and as I was saying before, with the degeneracy aspect of the space and how fast we're looking for new opportunities, like that's not how the legal structures work. That's not how any of these big organizations work. It's just not how any of this really works. And so being super level-headed and patient with that. Is it frustrating? Like, do I want HBARs dumped on the market? Is that the way I'm looking at it? Like, no, I don't want any of that. I want H bar's price to be as high as possible. Like everyone wants that. I don't think anyone's sitting here saying, "Hey, I want H bar to go down. I don't care about price action." Like I don't think anyone is saying that in any capacity. But if there's a way that these things go about, I am going to be patient and humble enough to say, "Hey, like by what I'm saying or what I'm doing isn't going to be the reason why X person is going to be removed or whatever, right? Like it's going to be a collective, it's going to be a group of people, and I think there's a way that these things are done, and I firmly believe that. I haven't really seen anything contrary to that, and if I think, yeah, I mean, if I go too deep into it, I mean, there's not really a point in doing that, but there's definitely moves being made. Clearly, there's moves being made, and until we see that publicly, we just have to be patient and continue to watch, see what's going on. So yeah, there's that. Let me see. Actually, hold on. Give me 1 second to find the other post. That was another post I want to show you guys. Just a second here. I just found it. So again, if you're blocked, also feel free. So I quoted this one. And if you're blocked, let me know. I'm curious if there's any correlation. That was what I said in our alpha chat this morning. Is there any correlation with anyone getting blocked? So again, if you're blocked, you saw my post. If you haven't seen my post, go ahead and click on my profile, check it out. Feel free to comment. I'm curious if there's any correlation, if there's anything we could find. And this is why I said I don't know if Shane removed it or if you just can't tag him officially. But Wire is tweets protected. He's a private account now as the CEO of the foundation. There might be some serious turbulence. So feel hard time. Shout out to you, brother. Uh, you've been a big supporter of our show here as well. So very interesting. I didn't request to follow or anything. If we see a mix up or a change up or whatever, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Shane. But arguably something is happening, especially if stuff like this is going down. And I'm not going to name names or whatever, but we've seen something similar before in our ecosystem. So again, just be patient. I think you're going to be a lot less stressed. I think you're going to be a lot more level headed and understanding of where this market's heading. The moment you just not let go. I think there's a healthy level of optimism, a healthy level of pessimism too that you need to have for this market, because a lot of this stuff is BS. At the end of the day, there's a lot of manipulation, a lot of malpractice, and unfortunate things that are happening in this space. But I do believe the opposite is true as well. I do believe there's a lot of good, a lot of really amazing use cases that can help benefit people and change their lives in a healthy way, in an impactful way, not just a healthy way, an arguably healthy way. And that's what this technology is leading towards. And that's why, to be honest, I don't trade a lot of shitcoins. I don't. I actually, here's something else that a lot of people might, whether think I'm less credible or more credible, whatever. I've actually never, and I can say that confidently, I've never actually traded a shitcoin on Solana ever. I've bought a little bit of Solana here and there, maybe one Solana worth or less, but I don't engage in the Solana ecosystem at all. Maybe I should, maybe I will when things pick up again. But I've never done that. I've only traded tokens here in Hedera. I've only bought tokens, NFTs, same thing. I've only bought NFTs here in Hedera as well. I want to really support the ecosystem. Maybe I've been an HBAR maxi. Maybe I didn't make as much profit as I could have being in other ecosystems, but I do believe what comes around goes around. And I do believe a lot of what's going on in other ecosystems is absolute BS. And I went and looked last night. Maybe I'll show you guys tomorrow, really unpacking more on the DeFi side of things. I went and looked at the liquidity pools for other tokens on other chains. Let me, there's a post I want to show you guys here. Give me 1 second to find it. If I can find it. Here, let's see where it's at. Right. Where are we at here? Oh, maybe I need to refresh my page. I guess some posts load, some posts don't load. Let me see. I didn't post it too long ago, so it should be pretty high up. Hmm. I don't see it. Weird. Okay, let me go to my replies then. Should be in here. I don't. I don't know why. I don't know why it wouldn't be up here pretty high. Here it is, right here. Yeah, I don't know why it's. Yeah, I mean, this is an actual post. So I just asked Nick. You guys probably all are familiar with Nick. If you follow along with anything more or less H Suite related. This is just an honest question. You guys can read it. It's pretty straightforward, pretty blunt. This is something, and I'm not singling out or highlighting H Suite in particular, even if that's what this post is showing. In this post, sure, but in terms of, I want to make an example here as well. Other chains, I went and looked at all their top tokens. I went on CoinGecko, DeFi Llama, Dex Screener, what have it, right? You name it. I went and looked at their liquidity compared to Hedera. Anything pretty much in the top 10 has like 10 to 20 million in liquidity or less. And some of these tokens are worth $1 billion or more in market cap. Like that's nothing for those tokens. Some of them are like 5 million liquidity or less. And when we go and look at Hedera, we have the total value lock, that kind of stuff. Hedera, at least for the DEXs, for SOS in particular, has incredible liquidity. Not financial advice, I'm not telling anyone to buy. H3 in particular has, last I checked, you know what, since I pulled up Saucer Swap, let me see if I could pull up H3 really quick. I do want to show you guys something. Let's see, this is the website, hsuite.finance. There you go. Let me see. I hope it's not going to make me like sign in again. I know I know it was doing that in the past. Give me 1 second here. Let me go to the dashboard. Or stats, I guess, is stats. Right, here you go. So we have H Suite as well. So we are at about I'll just round it up, 2.5 million in TVL. And the market cap, I believe, the market cap is at, here, let me just pull up Dex Screener really quick. I don't have Dex Screener pull up on desktop, so I'm just screen. So if you just kind of divide it into the market cap, this is about 11-12% of the market cap, which is actually pretty solid. Like compared to most stuff out there is like 1 to 5% or less. Like it's pretty poor in terms of the market cap to liquidity ratio. So 10 to 12% is not bad. Like it is not bad in any capacity. Saucer Swap, very interesting. 44. Oh, let me pull it up. Like I said, I just rounded to the nearest million, so about 45 million in TVL. But the market cap for Sauce somehow, some way, is actually much lower. It's only at 28, 29. I'll just round up 29 million. So that's like 100 and something percent, which I've never really seen, and I haven't really heard any answers as to why or how this is possible. But the liquidity for Sauce Swap's insane. First of all, not telling anyone to buy this or buy H Suite or buy anything really. Not financial advice on any of this stuff. But it is very important to understand. I'm just making an example here. It's important to understand the liquidity to the market cap ratio. And if you guys have not seen this post, I think Nick had some pretty solid answers. So I appreciate him. I said agreed with it, well stated. Curious what you guys think, what you think of the current one. He just kind of gave a full reason as to why he's excited about H Suite and just kind of where he sees the liquidity going. But when you go and look at other tokens, shout out to Epic Collection as well. I think he had a really good take as well. So again, go check it out. And also for those of you guys wondering, I did say, like, if you're going to continue to FUD me or basically talk shit, I've seen people literally put clown emojis in my comments and stuff. Like, if you want to continue to do that, more power to you. I'm not following you. I'm not going to mute you. I'm going to block you at this point. Like, I'm literally doing as much as possible with my time, my energy, my money for this ecosystem. Like, if you really have nothing better to do, all I'm going to do is continue to ask questions. And arguably those questions are just provide more transparency, more promotion for whatever it is that I'm asking questions about. So if people just don't like asking questions here, that sucks. Like, I'm sorry to to hear that. But I'm gonna continue to ask questions and for people to understand more. And guess what? We got some really great responses from amazing community members here. Say what's up. Yeah, I mean, I don't really believe it's stooping down in any capacity. I really just don't really have time for it. Don't have energy for it. Yeah, I mean, and there's some people here in the ecosystem that I thought I respected too, which is kind of fascinating. But again, shout out to Epic. Shout out to Nick as well for some amazing responses here. I do have one more. Nick did respond as well. So he's talking about something else that I do see that I totally forgot about. He mentioned that you can't actually see where's it at? You can't see the liquidity stats from SoftSwap pools or Dex Screener, CoinMarketCap, any of that stuff. So unfortunately, you can't actually see the full H3 liquidity unless you're on their website. Which I just asked them, how do we change that? He just talked about a little bit as well. Which again, great response. Shout out to Nick as well. Basically kind of going along the lines of that, it's pay to play for a lot of these platforms, even if they claim it to be free. So I don't know if this is something that H Suite needs to do themselves. I don't know if Sausage Swap did. Like, I don't know the answer to this. I'm just kind of bringing transparency to it. I'm bringing more eyes to it. But if H Suite liquidity isn't actually showing, that actually puts H bar even higher, because that 2.5 plus the 40, whatever it was, 45 million or something for Saucer Swap. Well, you add all that together and that puts us even higher. And just more transparency, more visibility is a win-win for this ecosystem. I want nothing more than to see Sauce win, H Suite win, Heli Swap, all of our dexes, all of our platforms, right? We have Centex and Kabila, Alanis, and you name it, right? We have so many platforms here that are doing incredible things. And all I want to see is the rising tide lifts all boats. And I think, unfortunately, we still have, and arguably this is a silo where some people think, oh, my platform can only win if other platforms don't succeed. So I'm only going to talk about my thing. And like, that's the worst, in my opinion. I'm just being super blunt here at this point, because it is kind of frustrating to watch more people do this. Um, it does suck to see, hey, like, only my platform's going to win. My platform's better than yours, whatever, right? Which we already know better tech doesn't always win anyways. It is going to be marketing. It is going to be the community. It's going to be the vibes at the end of the day. And if someone wants to say, hey, it's who you know, and am I going to get grants or whatever? Okay, well, like, you can believe that. And if that's what you want to believe and you're going to rock with that, then rock with that. But I'm not here to make excuses. I'm not here to do any of that. I want to talk about how we're going to be able to come together as a community. I get that there's silos and people coming together and supporting their own stuff and whatever, but I do believe a rising tide lifts all boats. And the bigger that these platforms, every single platform Hedera gets, that's what will make me the most happiest, because I will see that many more people absolutely winning, absolutely killing it in the market. And that just means that many more people are going to continue to win here in the ecosystem, which, I mean, I think that's an incredible thing. So let me scroll through a few of these, because I do want to cover some more of the HBAR daily news. We covered mainly technical analysis, a couple posts that I made as well, just some things I'm seeing in the ecosystem as well. Looks like Saucer Swap made a milestone. I believe it was yesterday, but we didn't cover it on the show yesterday. Over 5 million unique trades, more than 6,000 daily since they're launched 2 years ago. Organic activity, see you at 10 million. So that's pretty incredible. I didn't know that this actually happened. So SoftSwap leading the way. We do want to see SoftSwap continue to win, continue to drive value to the ecosystem. I don't believe it's a one size fits all. I don't believe only one platform will win or should win, that kind of stuff. That's not why I'm covering it. I do believe multiple platforms ought to win, ought to compete as well. And we're going to see that. I do believe we're going to see that more and more. So let me continue to scroll through some of these as well. Here's something that a lot of people are still dogging on the HBAR Foundation, but they did bring Karate Combat to various platforms that I'm not going to be exhaustive about. But then a lot of people forget about the DLT Science Foundation. Why is no one talking about the DLT Science Foundation and or the Hashgraph Association? Well, here's the Hashgraph Association. Who is what is it? WiseKey, Sealcoin. They're being brought on by the Hashgraph Association. I mentioned another group, 3,000 developers in Africa. Hashgraph Association, again, basically like the foundation. Okay, well, Adanian Labs. Guess who's right here? the Hashgraph Association. We're onboarding 1,800, looks like learners. I don't know if they're devs. Oh, yeah. The DLT Africa Regional Developer Program. More devs from more countries within Africa. I mean, this is just incredible. And the moment that we see a major shift, even if it's outside the United States, onto DLT Africa, with more partnerships like this is the kind of content that we ought to be covering, because that is going to be the biggest shift for us the moment that more and more devs are actually building on the network. And I do believe firmly, without a doubt in my mind, that that will at some point overshadow whatever is happening on the meme coin side of things, especially once regulations come. But that's just kind of a speculation and wait and see type of deal as well. We're going to start wrapping up the show very soon. So again, best way to support the show, if you found any value of our show today, like and retweet, leave a 8H-bar comment if you found any value, if you enjoyed our show as well. If you're learning anything, you're getting value out of it, feel free to show some support as well. All right, RWA's on Hedera in a nutshell. If you guys aren't following House of Chimera, they do a bunch of cross-chain alpha. They do cover Hedera quite often as well. Continue to check out what they're doing as well. And I just commented on here saying, pretty sure I commented. If it didn't go through, then here it is. Yeah. Bigger on Hedera, TBH, just like that one time we were trending a while back. So let's see what this is. So it looks like, my gosh, this is the foundation. I think the HBAR Foundation gave this platform a grant or something. Go check it out. I haven't heard from them in a while. So again, go check it out. Go see what's going on there as well. So @_third act. Go see what's going on. I'm just going to turn this up. Hopefully it's not something too dumb or too silly. I have no idea. Let me make sure my audio is on. I haven't seen this, full transparency. So let me share my screen here. Why does it show without my PFP? If that's weird. All right, let me show you guys my screen. The audio should be on. Audio's good. We're live. All right, so Mutt the Musical third act are releasing digital dogs to celebrate the upcoming performance. And this is at ASU. I'm here in Arizona. ASU is not very far from where I'm at. Built on HBAR, Hedera, collectibles, NFTs. So let's see what's going on here. Again, I have not seen this.
We're letting the dogs out. A unique collection of digital dogs are being minted on Third Act, unleashing a ton of perks for Mutt, a new musical comedy. With every purchase, fans generate a collectible with unique graphic traits, some common and some insanely rare.
Ooh, shiny.
The collection is tiered so fans can receive basic, super, and mega awesome perks. Signed memorabilia, virtual listening party, custom illustrations, meet creatives, house seats. Be in the show. This may be the first instance of an old dog learning new tricks. So don't delay. Get your Mutt today.
Okay, well, I'll be completely honest. One, I was not expecting any of that. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest, on that either. Goodness. Okay. Well, here's something else as well. I was never like into like musical stuff, anything like that. I was in choir, funny enough, just that's kind of random. So I love music, singing, all that stuff. But ASU, and if you're not familiar with ASU, is Arizona State University. Last I checked, it's the biggest university here in Arizona. I'm in Arizona, if you guys didn't know. I did not know that they were going to have NFTs, and it's on Hedera. So the biggest Arizona, one of the bigger states in the U.S., the biggest university has NFTs with it, Hedera. That's awesome. Actually, am I following them? I'm not following them. I must have unfollowed them at some point. Okay, well, you guys heard it here. If you guys haven't seen the third act, go check it out. If I was at their school, I'd probably just go see what's going on. And it's on Hedera. That's insane. So, as I said, in Africa, right up here, the Hashgraph Association, like we're making inroads across. This is actually very exciting. Like this is very. I was in college not that long ago, a few years ago. I would have loved to have gone in on some NFTs. Where I don't care how the NFTs look. Like I'm not going to really be judging the art or anything. Like, is it my style? Not really. But like that's not the point. Like being able to showcase what's going on with the technology Like, I'm so curious who even got this set up. Like that's just so cool. And to be honest, if I was still in college, I'd probably go set something up at my college, and maybe I will at some point in the future. We'll see. I was pretty involved with the honors college and so on. So we'll see. We'll see. But no promises on any of that kind of stuff. This is cool though. I'm actually genuinely excited for what could come of this. I wasn't that long ago. I was in college, so pretty funny. There, it's cool seeing more adoption there. All right, shout out to ASU. I thought this post made me laugh. So we're gonna cover it here. Shout out to Saucinu. So he said, my wife and her boyfriend have been buying the dips and became Saucinu whales recently. For now, I'll continue working my day job at Wendy's so you can at least have enough rent money while they both trade HTS tokens on Saucer Swap in the room next to mine. I thought it was pretty funny, so that's why I'm covering it. Again, not financial advice. I think this token, for what it's worth, since we're talking about liquidity, has a lot of liquidity. So make that what you will. I think it was upwards of 20% relation to the market cap. So again, check it out. Grolf is in a very similar position as well in terms of liquidity. All right, we're going to wrap up the show here, but I do want to cover this post. Drop in consensus time finality. Looks like Hedera went from 3.4 in that range to 3.16 to consensus time, which means Hedera is only getting faster and faster to come to consensus. Also, you love to see it. We got a HBAR Suite promotional posts. I think we've seen a few of them. I don't know. I saw some people with some interesting comments, but we saw a few of these posts recently, actually. But it's just great to see more and more use cases on Hedera being showcased by the main Hedera account. And as I said before, I think we see at least one, maybe every couple of days, one post or so from Hedera, but we need to see more. We need more and more community members with posts. We need to see more posts from the major accounts, the main accounts, that community members can rally around, support, like and retweet, right? I'm showing you guys here live, like liking and retweeting all this kind of content. Like, this is the way that we grow. This is the way that we actually, you want to say you're part of community, you want to say that you're pushing the community forward, that kind of stuff. Okay, well, likes and retweets go a long, long way, and it shows how many people are actually here in the community as well. Speaking of undervalued, being bullish, HBARC is one of the most bullish HBAR use cases I've seen in a while. I'm very bullish on what they're doing. So again, if you haven't jumped on, go check it out. Go follow at the Barking Game. Go see what Captain Jack with Ash is up to as well. Looks like Hedera is going to be speaking at the GBB Council as well. Just, I mean, so much news. Like I could probably spend another 15, 20, 30 minutes just covering every single thing that's going on just in the last 24 hours, last 48 hours. And I'll end the show here. I do want to touch on this and reiterate this. And I am working on something in the background. I haven't announced anything. I haven't really made massive inroads on it just yet, but I'm finalizing some stuff. I have some ideas for something like this. I won't really touch on it. If you find out about it, you'll know. If not, you'll just kind of see the aftermath of it. I'm very excited to actually do something about this. And I'm doing something right now. We're hosting our show. We're talking about Hedera every day, where I'm commenting, retweeting, creating content, helping you guys, supporting you guys. Like, that's what we got to do here every single day. So I do believe the Hedera community is absolutely a wild flame that's been stoked by constant adversity. To turn that wild flame into a raging HBAR marketing inferno, we need a leader who the community can rally around, who will stoke this community's inner fire. I do believe it to be Charles Atkins. Charles, if you're listening, I believe in you. I believe it's you. If it's not you, I made a post yesterday saying, if not Lehman, then who? I personally don't expect Lehman to be the one bull posting and creating content here outside of what he's working on, right? I think he maybe has more important things to do for what he's used to, what he's doing. But does that mean that we just are not going to ever have content marketing from anyone that's representing on the higher ups at Hedera? I don't want to believe that. I don't want to see that. Does it really mean the community has to take it into their own hands completely? I hope not. And if we do, then okay, well, maybe we're going to have to make some big strides, some big steps in that direction. But I've never been more bullish on the Hedera ecosystem. I'm only seeing more and more bull cases every single day, more adoption every single day where it matters. And don't forget, y'all. I mean, we're continuing to see more and more use cases, more and more platforms coming online here in Hedera. The future is just getting started here. You're incredibly early to what this Web3 is becoming, what Web3 is. And if you enjoyed the show here today, don't forget to like and retweet. We had about 200-something people tune in. A bunch of you guys tuned in on the spaces here. A bunch of you guys are going to listen to the recording. Friendly reminder, these shows are recorded every day. So if you missed any of the alpha, just feel free to go back. I'm going to make a post soon, talk about the highlights, talk about what's going on here in the show. But tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3. And I'll catch you all when I catch you. I'll catch you all tomorrow. 5 p.m. EST, the place to be in Web3. See you guys later. Peace, y'all.